So let's get into installation. Now I did do a full setup video when I first got that, and I'll link that below if you want to see all of the ins and outs. So this is just going to be a kind of overview. So for me, as I was replacing my Tado wireless receiver, I actually installed this myself. However, if you don't know what you're doing with something like this and you're not comfortable working with wiring, make sure you get a professional to install it. This of course is another expense to keep in mind, but it's always worth making sure something is done properly. The wireless thermostat screws onto the wall, and so it's nice and easy. And then the radiator valves also just simply screw on, and so if you're switching out an existing radiator valve for one of these, it's super easy. One thing that I really like is that every single piece of the packaging, including the packaging that the batteries were in, is made of cardboard or paper. This makes it all super recyclable and not a bit of plastic in sight. When it comes to setting it up in the Habi app, you'll need to create an account first. You can do this with kind of email and password, but also using Google or Apple. It's worth noting, if you're doing it via Google and Apple and you want the app to stay signed in, you will also need to tick the checkbox. This isn't necessarily obvious when you're signing up, so I did make sure I fed this back to Habi. When it comes to pairing, you'll simply scan the QR codes for the device in the app and add it all in. You'll set up your home for your boiler control, and then you'll set up rooms for your individual devices. And generally, I found that everything installed quickly with no issues, apart from one radiator valve that required a few resets, and it kept just not adding. It failed at different points, and I actually think there was probably a server issue at the time. The final step, if you want to add them to third-party services, is to go into the individual devices and put them into matter pairing mode to add them to something like Apple Home.